why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
He completes it to Olave. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Watch 57. Cut.
Regular.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Come to
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And Dalton to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. On 2nd and goal
For the completion.
Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Flushed out right.
And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
We got three down. 26.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He gets this one to Boyd.
Here we go.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
1-1, ready?
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Hey, watch 28. Watch the curl. 26, Mike. 26, Mike.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. This one complete into the hands of Higgins.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
And bring it.
Under 10. 10.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
They go 368.
Check safety.
They start the second half with Kamara. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch twist.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's Dalton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Regular. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. Now watch run. Mike's 57.
Here's Dalton.
Watch the slant.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
We got this.
And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Get that ball.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
Alvin Kamara
Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Dennis Allen going to go for 2 here. He's leaving his offense out on the field.
They'll try and run with Ingram. And he is not going to get to the goal line. And for the first time here this afternoon, they are thwarted on the 2-point conversion. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need
Try to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
57. Watch the slant.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do?
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a first and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And this has no chance. It's no good, well wide to the left, and this will remain an 18-point lead. The Bengals drive about to get going.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again.
picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
57, Mike, 57.
From midfield here, Dalton.
The pass caught by Olave. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he slings one that's incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
I'm coming. 57. Nice. 57.
Dalton right back on the horse after the pick 6. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. 32 yards.
And the Saints have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Mike's 50. 11 MT.
On third down, Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Flushed out right. Oh, now Burrow loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth
Yeah, you'd
quarter.
say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Six guys.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run from Alvin Kamara. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. They'll turn to Kamara. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback?
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
All right, I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Fields this way up at the 17.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Mike 56. We own them. We own them.
2nd and 10 now, Burrow. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Here we go.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike
2-by-2. Move.
Dalton sets up play action. Going for it all. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always goes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Get ready. Get ready.
On 1, right?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Mike's 56.
First down. Here's Burrow. In trouble, and he's taken down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
56. Check 56. I got you. I got you, son. I got you, son.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow able to find Higgins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards.
You better break it. 56.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
I'm coming after you. Mike 56. Mike 56. Watch the run. Watch the run.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football.
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in.
Watch the run.
Faster.
You're soft, baby.
Not running. Dalton wants to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one, and here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Dalton's throw caught by Olave.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Let's get the ball.
Oh, passing it. Dalton. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and it'll be a turnover on downs. A final shot now for Burrow. One last shot at the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover.